Along with full stops, capital letters are one of the most important and most used forms of punctuation. Let's learn the most common use of capital letters at the start of sentences. When writing sentences, it's important to make it clear to the reader when a new sentence begins. This helps the reader to understand what they're reading, and, if reading aloud, it helps them to read more clearly. One of the ways of doing this is to start new sentences with capital letters. Take a look at these example sentences. Notice how in each one the sentence begins with a capital letter, even if the sentence starts with speech. To make sure you do this, look closely for punctuation that ends sentences, and ensure it is always followed by a capital, so you're looking for full stops, exclamation marks, and question marks. As well as making sure your sentences start with capital letters, it is of course important to make sure you don't have them where they're not needed, especially in the middle of words. Taking care with your handwriting is really important, especially with letters that look very similar whether they're capitals or non-capitals. Be sure to write them at the correct height, and, if you join your letters, only ever join non-capitals, never capital letters. Take a look at this piece of writing. Can you identify the errors? There are 6 to find. Nervously, the cat crept towards the sleeping dog. His heart was pounding when suddenly the dog awoke. Immediately the cat turned and started to run, panting with every step. Would he get away? It didn't look hopeful. Let's start by making sure every sentence starts with a capital letter by first looking for punctuation that ends sentences. So that's full stops, exclamation marks, and question marks. Okay, here's a full stop and it's followed by a capital H, so that looks pretty good. But actually it's not right. The capital H has been joined to the next letter, and we never join up capital letters, so we can't say that this capital letter is correct. So we'll circle it, and then we'll keep looking. Okay, here's a full stop, but it's followed by a small I, so again that's wrong. Let's circle it. The full stop here is followed by a capital W, so no problems there. But the question mark here should be followed by a capital I, but it isn't, so we'll circle that too. Okay, now let's look through again, this time searching for any capital letters in the middle of sentences or words. In particular, we'll focus on the handwriting to make sure the letters are formed correctly. Look, there's a capital P on panting. This should be a small p, so we'll circle that. There's also a capital S on step, and a capital L at the end of hopeful. These letters can easily be confused, as they're formed in a very similar way, whether they're capitals or non-capitals, so it's important to take care with your handwriting. So, capital letters must always be used at the start of sentences. It's also important to take care not to use capital letters by accident in the middle of sentences or words. Taking care with your handwriting, especially when you join letters, is really important.